Ready to celebrate Mardi Gras?
Chef Matt Winters from the Waterfront Hotel in Oshkosh is doing a little Cajun cooking. Morning.
Good morning. We're going to make a kale and sausage soup this morning. It's made with andouille sausage, so it's got a little bit of a spice to it. Another great Mardi Gras type dish. We're going to start out with a heavy saucepan or stock pot if you prefer. Add a little bit of oil. We're going to start with some garlic and onion. And we're going to add a little bit of celery to that. Now this one you don't want to brown the onions and the garlic. What we want to do is what's called sweating. We just want to cook them until they become translucent. It makes them a little bit sweeter, which is really one of the flavors that we want to build into this particular soup. Now we're going to use the andouille sausage. It's got a little bit of spice, so this will be kind of a hot and sweet soup. We'll let that cook for a little bit. And since I don't want this browning up too much, I'm going to turn my flame down just a bit to slow it down and let that just sit there and keep cooking. Meanwhile, we're going to get some peppers that we're going to add to this one. You know, a nice sweet bell pepper. They add good color and good flavor to this one. You don't need anything fancy in the chop. We'll add those to the pot. You see we're getting some nice color in there already. And then we're going to add the kale. Now with kale, if you're using full-size kale, you want to take this center stem out. Just go down the sides like that with your paring knife. And it just pulls right out. Now the reason you want to take that stem out is it's a little bit fibrous and it can be a little bit tough. So by the time you get that cooked where it's soft enough to eat, the rest of your kale is overcooked and mushy and ruined. Kind of like a collard green. Same thing, you have to take the center stem out of that as well. We're just going to do kind of a shredded chop on this. Just going to bunch it all up. You know, again, nothing fancy. We're just getting it down to a smaller size so that it eats well. If I can keep from chopping my finger off. So we've got about 6 cups, which really is the equivalent of 1 bunch of kale that you'd buy at the grocery store. We're going to add that in. And this is where we're going to turn our heat up, because we want to wilt that down a little bit. Now, once that's wilted down, we're going to add some canned diced tomatoes. Some chicken stock. We're going to bring that all to a boil. We're going to add a little bit of fresh herbs, a little bit of brown rice, which we've pre-cooked to speed things along. Give that a stir, and once that cooks for about 10 minutes, you've got a beautiful soup to serve for dinner. Lots of color, very healthy, and a lot of flavor. We'll give that just a little clean there. If you want to put a little bit of parsley on to give it a kick, you can. And then just a tiny float of honey as a finish. And once that stirs in, you're ready.